These women are bleeding us dry. But do I have a solution to our problems?
I am just so excited about our girls' weekend.
Ready to board?
I was born ready.
I think we had an accident.
A Lifetime original movie.
One plane accident, 4 tough lessons.
This is why I never go camping.
Where's the tequila?
You were in a plane crash.
Oh my God, do we literally have to rub sticks together right now? What was that? I'm a survivor. I conquer all.
What the hell?
This whole thing was a setup. Your husband wired an entire forest to capture his wife's survival of a plane crash?
Yeah. We're not gonna die, okay? We have this.
We've all just let our marriages fail. We all want something different. We want to change. I don't think you understand.
Maybe there's some things I haven't told you about my marriage.
You think?
Hunting Housewives. Premieres Saturday, March 9th at 8. Only on Lifetime.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lifetime's Hunting Housewives virtual press event. Today, we are excited and honored to have the talented ladies, Denise, Kim, and Melyssa from the movie to answer your questions about this weekend's premiere. So we are going to go ahead and jump into our first pre-submitted question. This pre-submitted question is from Sammy over at TV Grapevine. This is for everyone. In what ways do you relate to your characters? Or if you do not, what characters of them do you wish you had? We can start with anyone.
I'll go first. I'm studying to be a Pilates instructor, and so is my character Sherelle. So that kind of made it, I don't know, simple for me to slip into her skin, so to speak.
I grew up camping, and which is close to my character, according to my husband, was that he took me from a lifestyle that was not super fancy and all of that, and he had money, so I didn't come from money. And so I think that part of my character I can relate to, as far as growing up similar to my character in the movie.
I think my character Jolie, she is not good in the outdoors, and I'm terrible. I'm not an outdoorsy kind of girl. I actually did Celebrity Survivor in Australia and I voted myself off. So I can definitely relate to Jolie not liking being, in the outdoors. One thing I am not like my character is the fact that she does not like her husband. I mean, most of our characters don't like their husbands.
Yeah.
But I love my husband in real life. So that's where I'm different to Jolie.
I love mine too.
Yeah. We do not like our husbands, do we, in this movie?
Not in this movie, no.
Awesome. Thank you, ladies. So our first will be Valerie Milano from the Hollywood Times. Valerie, please unmute your mic and ask your question.
Hello, thank you for doing this. This story is fascinating. Unlikely travelers forced to rely on their survival instincts to outwit their hunters. How did this story come about? Was there a specific inspiration for it? Do you know?
I was sent the script, and right away I was so intrigued by it because I loved, it was very different in my opinion, something that Lifetime has done before. And I've done a lot of Lifetime movies that were very dramatic outside of the Christmas movies that I personally have done. But I loved the dark humor in this. And I thought it was so empowering to see this group of women going on a fun trip, and then to see where the challenges came up and to see what these women were made of and how strong these women are. So I loved it as soon as I read it. I thought it would be such a fun project to be part of.
Yeah, I love the script as well. I'm a big fan of the Housewives franchise. So I thought it was kind of like Survivor meets the Housewives. And I just thought, it's also so deep as well. It's about the relationship between girlfriends, which I loved, the complexity of our marriages. And, there's all these different emotions you go through in the movie it's kind of girl power. We sit around a campfire telling stories and about our husbands. It's got a lot of humor in it. So I sort of has everything in the movie, and I loved the script and thought it would be so fun to do, especially with you girls.
Yeah, same. As soon as I read the script, I was just like, oh, hell yeah, to my agent. There was not a sense of trepidation whatsoever. I'm a native Canadian, so I was able to go back home. So that was also really like just an added bonus. And one of the things that I did was I had my agent keep from me who the other actresses were attached to the project until I completely read through the script, because I just kind of wanted that added sense of anticipation. And so when I got a chance to find out who was attached to the script, I was like, this is a really awesome cast. So I was super excited, and just the whole action element and like really like physically being out there in the outdoors and the storms, literal storms that we weathered, just kind of like added to like an extra layer of like authenticity to the movie. It
It
was
felt like a live performance almost, because you weren't on like a set. We were in the elements. And I loved that this is one of my bigger acting jobs I've ever had. So for me, it felt very comfortable and natural with you girls being out in the elements.
Yeah, I agree. Same. It's one of my bigger acting roles as well. And so to have scene partners like the two of you was just chef's kiss added to it all.
Thank you so
I
much.
feel also that we had chemistry. Kim, you and I have known each other for years, and Melyssa, meeting the two of us, I feel like the three of us right away bonded. And it was so important, I think, for this story, having it be best friends and on a fun trip, or going on a fun trip. And I think that we're so lucky, and I'm very grateful that we had that chemistry between the three of us doing these scenes.
Agreed.
We had so much fun in between scenes, just hanging out and being girlfriends. Like it felt very natural and easy. It was so fun.
It was so fun.
It really was.
Awesome. Thank you. We're going on to our next question from Chris Gunther. Chris, please unmute your mic.
Thank you for taking this brief time out, ladies. Greatly appreciate it. My question goes to Miss Ford. With all of the things that you've done, the ups, the downs, you've had to persevere. Do you feel that in this role, your character had to persevere through a lot of things?
Oh yeah. Bears, other things that, I don't want to reveal. I'd rather you guys watch the story, but when you see this was, this is very, like Kim says, it's Survivor meets, the Housewives, and it was fantastic. But I kind of discovered along the way that I really, really, really enjoy doing physical comedy. Like it's kind of my jam, so I think that there's going to be there's a lot of funny moments in this where, I kind of I took a page out of Jack Tripper, John Ritter from Three's Company. I took a page out of his book when it came to applying physicality to the comedy that, of the role, that it asked for. And, it really honestly was just it was just such a, getting the role was just a blessing. It really was. And it just kind of highlighted my life kind of taking, moving into a new direction, one that's, that's extremely positive. And I'm just beyond grateful for it. This role really, and this movie really just kind of encapsulated just how wonderful, opportunities are starting to kind of filter into my life at this point.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you, Chris. We're moving on to Jojo Cruz. Please unmute your mic and ask your question.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for your time. It's a pleasure to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
So my question, thank you. So my question is for the entire panel. I was curious, but specifically Denise and Melissa, you both come from amazing backgrounds of acting and modeling, have amazing careers, who also transitioned to reality TV. I was curious, which one is more challenging for you? And I know you're focusing on acting right now, but if you could return to reality TV, would you do so?
Well, I returned to reality TV recently, going on the Housewives of Beverly Hills for a few episodes. And I find it more challenging sometimes just being yourself, because it's a different environment. And when you have a script and you have a character, but then when the camera's on you and you're for me personally, and you're you're very vulnerable, which can be very scary for some people, myself included. So I mean, I like doing both. I do, but it's easier, especially being an actress since I was 20 years old, to do that. That's what I've done my whole career.
Yeah, I would agree with Denise. Reality TV just it's a perilous environment, even though you are yourself, you kind of feel like you have to give almost like a caricaturized version of yourself, and so I feel like there's a whole lot more second guessing that goes on inside your head, whereas when it comes to acting, you read through the script numerous times, you develop your character, you develop your character's backstory and stuff, and then you just kind of commit to it. And at the end of the day, you get to walk away because there's separation between you, where you begin and the character ends, kind of thing. Whereas in reality TV, it's almost like very circular. You don't kind of, there's no beginning and end. And then there's also public perception. So that gets a little wonky as well. So I personally prefer acting.
I also have to say, with Kim, coming from her dancing background and all the dancing shows and her being her authentic self, to see her in this role, I said to her, you need to act more. She is so good at this. And
You're so sweet.
No, you really are. I'm not just saying, like, and there's just she's so natural and very an ease about her that I am really excited for people to see her in this role, because she's so good in it. And just you're very natural and just really,
well, I think
really funny too.
Oh, you're so sweet. I think that was you two helping me. I felt so at ease when I was on set with both of you, and you're both such incredible actresses. I was learning a lot of like just being in the moment, being present, reacting from you guys. It's very different to dancing, because with dancing you're so rehearsed and you have the choreography, you rehearse it. Where here it's like, the script will change the night before. So yeah, I loved being with you two, and I think you both just made it so easy for me. So thank you.
I wish I was as good as you when I was doing my earlier roles, because you
really are you're really gifted, Kim. You are.
Well, thank you. So sweet.
It's true.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much. We're looking forward to the movie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Up next, we have a question from Jamie Steinberg. Jamie, can you please unmute and ask a question?
Yes, I'm just curious. What's more deadly, hunters coming for the housewives or Nene Leakes' sassy shade?
Nene is amazing. Yeah. Nene was so fun to work with. She is such a big personality and she knows how to deliver lines. I loved Nene, and she's so funny in this movie. So she was great. I think people will be surprised. Like, her role's not as Nene as you would think.
Yeah, but she is got a very powerful role, and
yes,
Melyssa and I worked with a stand-in, and I was so disappointed because I was so excited. It's like, I can't wait to work with Nene. And I wish we had the opportunity, but there were scheduling conflicts with for Melyssa and I when we were working with her those scenes. So Kim was very fortunate to be able to work with her. So I wish that we were able to, but she is so funny in it.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Up next, we have So Unique. So Unique, please unmute your mic.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hi.
Hi.
So, participating in a film like this may make you think twice the next time you start to prepare for your next trip or outing. What would be the first 2 or 3 emergency items, your just in case items that you would pack on your next trips?
Oh my goodness. That's a good
Water.
question.
I would definitely bring a lot of water in a suitcase.
That's good.
That is a good one. Food.
And if the suitcases were not going to be on the plane, I probably wouldn't go on that plane.
Right.
A lighter. Definitely a lighter.
Yes. Yeah.
Definitely a
or a-
lighter. Yeah. And a pen knife. Like maybe a Swiss Army kind of
Right.
situation.
Right.
That I definitely have that in the
And
arsenal.
snacks, lots of snacks.
Yes, lots.
In your
when you're
carry-on. Lots of
when you're hungry,
snacks and food. Right?
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
More than one
Thank
protein
you.
bar.
More than
What
one
was the last one?
bar.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Up next, and apologies for if I say this incorrectly, Asha. Asha, can you please unmute your mic?
Thank you. It's Aisha.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for having me. So I definitely want to kind of go piggyback because I know you guys had said that these scripts were definitely something that you were interested in. It was very different from previous roles that you have completed, and especially the points that you're saying that your characters don't like your husbands. So how do you think this will resonate with audiences, and what message do you hope the viewers will take away from it?
I think that
sorry, go ahead.
You go.
No, you go, Timmy.
No, I think
go ahead. Go ahead, Kim.
I think people will love the complexity of the relationships that we have with our husbands, and then how much we rely on our girlfriends. And we have been keeping some secrets, I guess, but it all kind of unfolds and we feel like we let our guard down, and our girlfriends are there to sort of lift us up and help us through. And I think people will like seeing that.
I also think that people will like seeing that these women are stronger than they thought they were, emotionally and physically. And that's one of the things that I loved about seeing this group of women, that they were put in a completely an environment that was so different from anything they've ever done, and being able to survive and being stronger and physically and emotionally than they thought they could.
Yeah, the women, our characters were extremely resourceful with very, very limited resources, so to speak. And so we really kind of like banded together to, deal with a situation that would normally, in a normal environment, probably like kind of upend us. But we had a very, we survival of the fittest, and that is us, and we have to get ourselves out of here. But also, like Kim was saying, the complexity of relationships. I dare any couple to say that they have not, thought to themselves, oh my God, I'd love to kill him right now. Oh my God, I'd love to kill her right now. This movie's hilarious where, the husbands actually take that thought a little to the extreme, but it ends up becoming, somewhat comical.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Up next, for the next movie specific question, we have Stephen McCoy. Stephen, please unmute your mic.
Hi, everyone. Hi,
Hi.
ladies. As
Hi.
as a historian myself, I just want to say Happy Women's History Month to all of you beautiful ladies on the panel.
Thank you.
Now, I just want a quick thing. I just want to say hats off to Melyssa Ford for you being a person that still has been resilient and persevere your way through to still be here today. As a person who has a disability, me being legally deafblind, whether your disability was long-term or short-term, I know that you've dealt with all of the other aspects of people walking away and you having to find your own way. So we're here today because of your resilience. So just kudos to you for that.
Thank you so much.
And for the ladies on the panel, how did you ladies support each other mentally and emotionally during the filming? Because there were some scenes that definitely was intense, and I just often just wonder, did you ladies have to become extra comfortable with each other to be able to move forward with the filming? How did you support yourself? How was that solidarity?
I think that we naturally had right away a chemistry with each other, and there was a trust with each other. And I think that's one of the biggest things being an actor, when you have to be emotional and vulnerable. We right away, I don't, it's either there or it's not. And if it's not, you fake it. But for us, I feel that we personally, the three of us had that connection, and we just trusted each other. And that makes the scenes so much more, where we're able to trust each other and do our job. And I mean, right, girls, like we felt comfortable with each other.
It made it feel effortless, the scenes. And some of them, I remember actually on the first day, our very first scene was quite a tough scene. Like they threw us in the deep end. But because we'd had that time in the makeup trailer, I did know Denise, before. But meeting Melyssa, we just instantly hit it off and felt very comfortable with each other. And like Denise said, we did have that trust going into these more challenging, difficult scenes where you would really be relying on your girlfriends to support you. And it felt natural. Like
it did.
Yeah. And it was a very physical movie. So I think we all like that.
Yeah.
And we just sort of threw ourselves into it.
Yeah.
Thank you, lady.
Thank you so much. Up next, we have Bobby Penn. Bobby, please unmute your mic and ask your question.
Hi. All of you ladies did great, and it was enjoyable watching your character arcs, especially you, Kim, when you had your moment. I'm not going to reveal the moment. I was just cheering for you, like, yes, she got some guts.
I got there in the end.
Yes. This question is specifically for Melyssa Ford, but if anyone else wants to chime in, please feel free. Melyssa, your character, Sherelle, was adventurous and multi-skilled. She was proud to be strong and served as the muscle for the entire group. In your real life, we've seen you navigate a male-dominated industry and rebound from a near-fatal accident with grace. Can you tell me a time when saving yourself was your only option?
Oof. Oh my gosh. Physically, mentally, emotionally, all of the above?
All of the above.
Oh. I would probably have to say surviving a near-death car accident, was my most physical, mental, and emotional obstacle that I've ever had to overcome. I was not prepared in any, I mean, how do you prepare for something like that? But I did not know what was going to come down the pipeline. Recovery was extremely hard, but being 6 years outside of that and everything that I've gone through, bad, good, or indifferent, just recently, I was just sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm kind of a badass. I really can't believe how much that I have not just survived But like I have come out the other end and I'm thriving, and I'm also filled with like so much gratitude. And honestly, it just was literally taking it like one day at a time. And for me, I sunk my teeth into this role just because I love the character. I love my co-stars. I love the script, but I love the opportunity to do something that I don't think anybody expected from me. I don't think that anybody expected me to just jump right into a role that required physical comedy. And I feel like you guys know which, like, one of the scenes I'm talking about, it involves like a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
And that scene was hilarious to shoot, but the challenge was just like, I skirted death at one point in my life. So now every single day that I'm alive, I want to do everything. I want to feel everything. And this role was just like, it was literally like kismet. It was fate, kismet, God sent, whatever you want to say, but it just was, it really, really was like the cherry on top of like persevering through all of like the difficulties that life threw my way.
Beautiful. Beautiful response. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we have Gospel Spotlight. Gospel, can you please unmute your mic and ask your question?
Yes, thank you, ladies. I really appreciate the job that you've done. My question is, what was the most challenging part of your roles?
I think for me, it was my character is a bit of a princess, but I wanted to make sure she had some depth because she wants a lot more out of her life than fancy holidays and, the glamorous lifestyle that she leads. So I think it was trying to give her some depth, but where she goes in the movie. So that was challenging and also fun to try and work through.
For me, physically, laying in the mud, dirt at night in the woods, I was nervous about, and Melyssa does not like bugs either.
But they love her.
She and I got bit all the time. So just from a physical aspect, that was challenging. Emotionally, I think it was the fact wrapping my head around the storyline, the relationship between me and my husband, because that's something I don't have with my husband. So that's just a character, but which is great as an actress to be able to have that challenge. But the physical part of it was mostly the bugs. I know it sounds stupid, but
no, it's not the bugs.
And Melyssa was always spraying herself down, almost bathing in bug spray.
I was.
And then I joined in too.
In the movie, Melyssa's doing this a lot, and that was for real. Like she was actually flipping these bugs away. Yeah.
Yeah, the bugs were, I would have to say, my least favorite part. The elements were not always on our side either. I mean,
no,
we had to wait out downpours of rain consistently over the whole shooting schedule. So, once, rain stopped, we're like, oh God, we gotta go lay back in the mud. So that
was one of my favorite moments though, when we got stuck in the rain and we had to go inside and just hang out. That was we were eating those Canadian tomato chips.
Yes.
Remember? Yeah.
The ketchup chips.
That's right.
Yeah.
My husband's from Toronto, and Kim's husband's from Toronto too, right?
Yeah. Yes, he is.
He's from Toronto.
He's from Toronto, yeah.
Okay, so both our husbands are from Toronto. So my husband loves the ketchup chips as well.
I grew up eating them. I'm from Toronto, so I grew up eating ketchup chips. I was like, yes, they have ketchup chips. People are gonna I wear ketchup chips, but they are so good.
They are good, actually.
Thank you very, very much, and continued success, ladies, and happy Women's History Month.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we have Blair Thompson. Blair, please unmute your mic.
Hi, ladies. Thank you so much for having me. My question is for Melyssa Ford. First of all, I have to give you your flowers because your brand and your career has just been a great example for us Black journalists. So I just want to say thank you so much. But your in real life podcast interview with Angie Martinez was extremely vulnerable, brave, and impactful. Similar to your character, you've showcased your resilience. How has prioritizing your passions, like working on this film, for example, inspire you just to keep going and to keep pushing?
You know, I think it really is just like that mindset of, skirting death and realizing how fragile life is, and realizing, and shortly after that, my mom passing away, and that being like, something that I was like, I bore witness to. I really, 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 really appreciate the fragility of life. So I think to myself, my days are not promised on this earth. I could live for 40 more years, or, God forbid something happens to me tomorrow. So every single day I want to do something that I am impassioned by, that I am scared by, that I am challenged by. This is how I think about my life. And also I just think about I just think big and bold and beautiful. That's how I look at my life and the challenges that I take on, and opportunities that are given to me, even though I might be terribly afraid of them. I'm just like, nope, I am just diving in head first. That's my whole mentality when it comes to things, because I just know how quickly things can change for the worst.
Thank you, Melyssa.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Up next, we have Aaron. Aaron, please unmute your mic.
Thank you guys for taking your time out today. This question is for everyone on the panel. So your characters went through a lot in this movie. So do you guys feel you possess any of the skills necessary to survive what your characters experienced in this movie? And if so, what are some of those skills?
I know how to tie knots. I could make a nice lean-to because I did Celebrity Survivor. So I learned how to do that. I don't know. Apart from that, I'd be terrible, I have to say. I could tie some knots and that's it.
I have to say, of the three of us in real life, it would be Melyssa that could help.
Yeah, for sure. Melyssa would definitely help us out.
She would.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have a pretty good internal sense of GPS. I don't know where that comes from. Maybe it's like a childhood fear of getting kidnapped. I don't know, but that's how it's manifested in, like, I'm just really good at navigating, the North Star, follow the sun. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I've got an internal sense of GPS, and then, and also I'm really good in a crisis. It might be like the Scorpio in me, but like when everything is like, like nuclear, I'm just like, I'm very, very zen. It's the small stuff that I sweat. So,
That's so like your character.
Totally.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I know we have a bunch of questions, but we have limited time, so we have time for just a couple more. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Lavetta Jenkins. Lavetta, please unmute your mic.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for taking this time. I'm Lavetta Jenkins of chattypassenger.com. I have a question, and this is going to cause you to think just a little bit. Of all the characters you've played before, specifically Denise, because I think I kind of know which one of your characters from the past do you think would end up in this situation?
Oh, gosh. In this situation?
Yes. For Denise, I can probably say Kelly from Wild Things, thinking she got over on somebody and then later on they get over on you. I can almost see that. You think she'd outwit him? Okay.
Yeah. She would be too smart. And she'd be able to get through it. Starship Troopers, that character would be able to get through this and be able to fly the plane. I'm trying to think. I actually it would have to be like me.
Okay. Okay.
As the reality person.
So you kind of technically played a lot of strong characters. That's good. Melyssa, which one do you think of yours would end up in this situation?
I would have to agree with Denise. The second you say spa and private jet, I'd be like, yep, I'm going. Not missing anything. Let's go. So it would be me.
Okay. Kim?
Yeah, definitely me. I'd be so up for the spa. I'm not good with the outdoors. I would not handle the situation very well at all.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. That was eye-opening for me. Thank you so much for answering my question.
Thank you. All right. We have time for our last question, and that's going to come from Suzanne. Suzanne, can you please unmute your mic and ask the final question for today?
Hi, thanks. Melyssa mentioned big, bold, and beautiful. So Denise, I wanted to let you know that you are really missed on the bold and the beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And I really enjoyed the ending to this movie, and it seems like it left it open. Do you think that there will be a sequel or possibly a series from it? And would you all sign on to that?
Yes, we've decided it's going to be in Australia. Melyssa, this was before you were on. Kim and I decided we're going to be in Australia.
I am fine with that. I love Australia. I am fine with that.
Right. And I have an idea that I'm going to tell off camera because I have a really good idea for what the sequel could be.
I know. Remember, we hadn't even wrapped the movie, and we were saying, "Oh, wouldn't it be great if we could do a sequel?" Because we were just having so much fun together, and we're like, "Should it be Italy? Should it be?" Yeah, we were trying to figure out where we should go next.
Well,
so hopefully there will be a sequel. Okay, there we go.
All right, thank you.